Hello and welcome to another episode of Closer Look, my ongoing series where I take a closer look, as implied by the title, at model kits and Lego sets and things that I've built on the streams. Occasionally it is to highlight work I've done once the kit has been completed on stream, anything I've done after, and other times it's to compare and contrast because I have quite a collection here, although some kits do move out of my collection to go out to homes of subscribers. Often I have kits for quite a while, and it's nice to be able to take a look at these. Now, one of these Heavy Arms is going to be going to a home in the next couple of months, so I want to do this video while I had both of them in my possession. We are comparing and contrasting two Gundam Wing Heavy Arms, one of which is the regular Heavy Arms and is a master grade, and one is the Endless Waltz version, which is a recolor and slight redesign, but really mostly just a recolor for the OVA Endless Waltz that is a high grade. Now, the high grade is a 1997 kit. And the Master Grade is a 2012 re-release of a 96 kit, and very little had been changed. It's mostly just putting more out in circulation because Gundam Wing was still popular in 2012. Kind of, sort of, they started re-releasing things. So it's basically the same kit as it was then. So it's a pretty good comparison. Obviously, the coloring is different. Now, if you're not really familiar with kits, you might not be able to tell immediately which one is the master grade, which one is the high grade. You may be like, well, one of these has a lot of stickers, but maybe you just didn't apply the other one. I should mention, this is the master grade. Here are Heavy Arms, and the Endless Waltz version of the Heavy Arms is the high grade. There are more stickers here. These would be water-based decals I would do there. This is plastic, which you can't really tell from the video, but this plastic piece is there, whereas these are all stickers. And yes, this would be water-based decal. I didn't do any, I did some stickers on the head here, but most of this is clean, and I did not use any of the water-based decal transfers, as I am not great with them, and also, I don't really need to. Otherwise, you can look at that, and that might be able to help you tell the difference. But the real big difference between a high grade and master grade in the late 90s, particularly, is looking at the legs. There's just way more detail here, right? Our knees bend and have lots of different pieces here, whereas this is one single piece. You can see a lot of seams on this, which you're going to see less here. I apologize. I'm going to adjust this camera here. It did autofocus, which I don't want it to do now, so there might be a little shakiness as well if I lean on the table. All right, cannot configure that while I am recording, but y'all get it. Anyway, I'm loving this because, yeah, you can really tell the feet here. There's a bend to these feet, which you're not going to find here on the, again, apologize for the autofocus, which you're not going to find on the high grade. But overall, it's still, as far as high grades go, this is one of the best high grades. The weapons look good, very similar. The fists aren't great. The hands, there's a lot more movement in the hands there that you clearly tell these are, very generic fingers, like where you get one hand. Very generic on the high grade. Very similar across the whole line. There is a master grade version of this kit, the Endless Waltz for the OVA, because Gundam Wing was a TV series that then had an OVA called Endless Waltz. Fun fact, almost all of the re-releases of Gundam Wing say Endless Waltz, even if it's the kit that predated Endless Waltz that is from the TV version, it still says Endless Waltz for marketing purposes, which makes it kind of annoying when you want the Death Scythe or the Death Scythe Hell, but not the Death Scythe Custom. Also, that's what this is actually called. I don't usually say Custom, I usually say Endless Waltz version, but the kits that you'll find in there are all called Custom. There is, as I said, a master grade version of this kit. It is very expensive because it was a limited release. I have not built it. It's on my wish list, but I have not as yet purchased it. But there's a lot of things that are similar here. There's also a lot more movement in the skirt area here. There's a lot more detail in that. This is just a flap and these are also the kind of flaps that fall apart pretty easily. So I'll be trying to be delicate with that. Um, but yeah, overall, I just wanted to be able to compare and contrast these. Um, as I said, I put every sticker that came with it on this kit, whereas this I just used the eyes and then the front and back of parts of the head. I can tilt that there. You can see that a little better. Um, but yeah, overall, it's very similar. I think maybe the internal guts here are a little different, and that's also because of the design of the kit changes in the show. But overall, uh, very similar in most ways. Yeah, it's like an upgraded because now it's more miniguns in the chest for the custom, as they call it. And it's also obviously the colors are different. Um, there's a knife hand attachment that you'll find on this kit along with the gun arm. This kit has just more guns that he holds, and you lose the cool knife blade, which is such a silly thing for the heavy arms thing that's about shooting missiles and guns to have a knife. Always a fun part of that kit, but I kept it off for comparison's sake because it is not part of this version. But yeah, there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I am by no means an expert. I come across almost all my knowledge by practical, by building, by learning from my chat and from other builders. But maybe you'll be able to walk in and go, "Oh, okay, you know what? This is cheaper, but in this particular instance, this is still a fun-looking kit. I'm going to pick that up." You know, if you get the high-grade version of this kit down to it, you know, the differences are going to be in the legs, in some of the posability, but a lot of the weapon detail in such the rockets are going to be just fine. And maybe if you don't want stickers, hey, if you don't want stickers, high grades are not for you. But if you don't mind applying stickers, get a high grade. But please build, and of course, share those photos with me on Twitter, on my Discord, in the link to the show description to all that stuff. Thank you for watching. I will have another video at the end of the month. I'm not sure what I'm going to do at the end of June for the next closer look. If you have an idea of something you'd like me to take a look at, maybe a Lego set that I've built, or maybe if you want to see me apply some water decals to a kit that I've built on stream, the water-based transfer decals, you encourage me to do that. Maybe I'll take a really good look at My Neighbor Totoro, because that was a really fun build, that papercraft kit. I'll look at it a couple weeks later and see how it's holding up after all the glue is dried. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see. And I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.